Welcome to the Turtle Club. We are started.
This is the beginning.
Hello.
We did
Hello,
it, guys.
hello.
We made it to episode 3, March.
We're still kicking.
Yeah, Eli, if we should start introducing ourselves.
Yeah, I am Eli. Nice to see you guys all back here.
And how many times have you watched The Master of Disguise?
Oh, yeah. I am Eli, and I have watched Master of Disguise 13 times in 2022.
Okay.
Jeez. All right. I'm Dave. I'm up to 15 watches now of The Master of Disguise 2002.
I'm Michael, and I have watched it 20 times. I said in the last episode I'd hit 20, and I hit it.
Damn,
Man.
you're like fucking Babe Ruth,
Wow.
like calling his fucking hit.
I called my fucking shot.
We have a guest, everybody.
Yes.
We
We
kind
do.
of teased him at the end of episode 2, but in case you didn't listen to that, and why wouldn't you? Because we're amazing. We have the Master of Disguise here on our show. The man himself, the guy behind the Master Cut Kickstarter attempt. We have Jacob.
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah, I'm glad to be here for this, and I'm Jacob. I think we just recently established that I've seen The Master of Disguise about 35 times. Is
Yeah,
my guess.
we're
Yeah,
running there.
just so
30,
for everyone
35
knows,
times.
we actually just recorded sort of a bonus interview episode with Jacob because we had too many pressing questions, we felt, and we felt that it would take up way too much time out of a normal episode. So we are going to release that sometime in the future, but we just recorded it. So we already got some answers to questions. So if you guys have some very pressing questions for Jacob as to why he did this, we've already got you covered. But for people who don't know, Jacob, give just a brief synopsis of what you did 10 years ago.
Okay, yeah. In order to win a bet with my then girlfriend, I watched The Master of Disguise 21 days in a row, and I kept a very in-depth blog about the journey, so to speak. It was a trip. It was difficult in many regards, and I got through it, and I'm all the stronger having done it.
Yeah.
So
Good.
And
How brave.
we found Jacob, and we felt an immediate kinship.
Yeah.
Having watched The Master of Disguise this many times, it's just like how veterans see each other and immediately have
Yeah.
a connection.
You know, it crosses all barriers. It's just it's a bond that you know immediately.
Honestly-
If I saw Jacob in public, I would know by looking at him how many times
Yeah,
he's seen
well,
the
yeah.
movie.
Honestly,
Yeah.
it's just a thing. You know, you could tell the
You're
look in somebody's eyes. Like that guy has seen Master of Disguise more than 10 times.
And he wants to kill
Yeah.
himself. Yeah.
But also, if it wasn't for Master of Disguise, I would see Jacob in public. I'd probably fucking hate him. He'd probably be the worst guy on planet Earth, right, Jacob?
absolutely, yeah, and yeah. You can tell who's a Turtle Club member.
Yeah.
They're
official.
vacant. Nothing
Extreme
behind
self-loathing. Very punchable face.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god. So we already covered a lot of ground with Jacob in the interview stuff, so we can get pretty much right into this shit. But
boy.
but to repeat ourselves just a little bit, Jacob watched this. We established anywhere from 30 to 35 times. He returned and watched this movie 4 more times for us, for our benefit, for this podcast. Jacob, just again, really quickly, just tell people how it was coming back.
It in some ways it was like coming home. In other ways it was oh god, I'm still doing shit like this. I need to get my priorities straight. I will say that my priorities are definitely not straight. We were talking about this a little before the episode, but I tested positive for COVID. I'm still here. I'm still doing this. It's a priority for me. Like I made a commitment to watch the movie and talk about it with you guys.
You're on a ventilator
I'm
right
ready.
now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're vented, right?
Yeah, I
At the
really do
hospital
want
doing
to.
the
Yeah,
podcast.
we got to give Jacob props. Just this morning, he messaged us. He's like, "Hey guys, I have
Oh, no, no,
COVID."
no. It was production alert.
More professionalism than we have ever shown.
Yeah. I
I'm
tested
actually writing
positive for
down
COVID.
everything. I'm writing
Yeah.
down everything I'm saying, and someone else is reading it. That's what's
Right,
going
yeah.
Yeah, that's not even your voice. You right now.
Yeah.
This is a computerized voice like Stephen Hawking.
on.
And that's beautiful. But okay, so we have established that Jacob's a fucking trooper. Because genuinely, I like this is like I'm one of the main hosts of this, and if I had COVID, I don't think I would be here. Like,
I don't have
fuck you guys.
COVID, and I almost wasn't here. I almost backed
Yeah,
out.
like, fuck this bullshit.
I will not miss a chance to talk about the Master of Disguise.
That's the right attitude right there.
And we
Come
respect
hell or
it.
high water.
We truly do respect it. So let's get straight into the fucking notes, people. We watched this
Okay.
movie so many fucking times. Dave, he is our
Yeah.
resident lore expert.
We decided he
he's
would
done
go
a lot
first.
we decided that Dave's going to go first this round.
I would just like to say I'm making a conscious effort not to get as angry this time.
well, things
I
got a
re-
little heated. Things got a little bit heated. but
I walked
honestly-
away angry, and I'm trying not to do that this time.
So,
Dave, go ahead.
with such high hopes leaning towards that, I'd like to introduce you to my section, which I'd like to call the Turtle Club. Into the Shell.
Ooh.
That's good. I really like that.
So the last podcast, we got that huge reveal from Eli, right? The cuteness is the grandfather.
Yeah.
And that changed so
It
much
changed
of
a
the
lot.
movie.
It changed a lot.
It really
Oh my
changes
God.
how you watch this movie. Jacob, were you aware of this? Because you never mentioned it in your blog, I don't believe.
I don't think I picked up on it. So it goes to show you can watch it 21 times and miss it.
Well, I don't think I would have
That's
gotten
me,
it
or-
if it wasn't for the alternate ending.
Yeah, the alternate ending
Yeah.
that's available on YouTube like shows the grandpa like revealing himself as the cuteness, and that like, and then they ask him to go back to living as the cuteness, which is just fucked up.
It ties everything together, though. If that's
It
what
truly
is.
does make a lot of sense, but
No.
yes,
It
it
fills
does
in
really.
a lot of plot holes.
Finding that out, like
Does
since
it?
then, I
Does
cannot
it?
look at that dog.
What?
It does.
What plot holes does it? All right. Sorry.
No,
go ahead.
yeah, it's
I
already
can actually
begun.
fill. I
Dave,
can actually fill one in. Okay.
into the shell.
So,
Keep going.
Yeah, into the shell. So, with the cuteness being the grandfather, the scene where Pistachio is on the roof again, and he is talking to the orb, going, "Oh, I don't know what to do. I'm out of ideas. Well, I need some help." The grandfather is talking through the orb, saying this is a pre-recorded hologram, but he is answering questions. So, I think that's part of the Disguisey tradition to give the grandson the Energico ball, and then like project your mind and thoughts through it. But it's like a proximity thing, so you have to be near it. That's why the
What?
the
What the
cuteness
fuck?
is there.
So that's why the cuteness is present. So he's projecting his mind through the ball using Energico.
If he was projecting
And
his mind, why would his face show up?
Well, because that's how he views himself.
Okay.
Yeah. On top of that, the grandpa even says, "Oh, be quiet. You never know who's listening." And then the cuteness barks.
That's
He's
very
referring.
interesting.
He's referring to himself.
What?
That
do you mean?
does-
Yeah, that's like
he's-
a wink.
Yeah, he's saying, "Oh, you never know who's listening," and then it's like a wink and a nod to himself.
No,
He's like,
that-
"Oh, I'm here."
That line exists solely because they don't want to say out loud that he's going to dress up as Cherry Pie Man for the reveal. That's it.
I'm sorry. The Cherry Pie Man cryptid, you mean?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
I'll-
I'm on board with that. I'm fully on board with Cherry Pie Man.
The Cherry Pie Man is a cryptid. I don't think you can deny it. There's too much proof.
Yeah. Yeah, there's
Too much.
There's too much proof.
And
about that.
I have some lore to add to that when we get to me. So
No, yeah, it's there's a lot that I have about that particular plot point. But Dave, continue.
Yeah. God, I really just wanted to start off with like the different Disguisey Energico levels and how fast you climb through the ranks. I feel like you could kind of get through the first like couple hundred fairly easily, and then when you hit the 500 range, it starts to get into the intermediate levels where you get harder and harder challenges. That's why we see Pistachio kind of like get better and better sort of very quickly as the movie goes along, because it's only like a couple of days, right?
Yeah, but by the end of the movie, isn't he only 1.5? They never really established what his exact number is at the end. Because I think you're right, Dave, because I actually did the math on this. And if you were to level up every day for a Master of Disguise, because there's 7,000 levels, if you were to level up once a day, it would still take 19 years to reach the top level.
See, that's where
I mean,
at.
maybe with a really impressive disguise, you can just level up multiple levels immediately.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. It's like in an RPG when you beat a boss and you can level up like 5 times afterwards. Like I'm thinking it's like that. So like, how many levels do you think Pistachio jumped in this particular from 1.5 to his ending, and where do you think he ended?
See, there's the.
Are we saying the grandpa is level 7,000 in this? I need a measure for the top.
I don't know. The cuteness thing is very impressive.
Okay,
can you go down levels? Because the grandpa, remember, he's saying that he's rusty at certain points, and when I'm at the top of my powers, maybe it's kind of fluid, and you can go up and down.
Yeah.
Yeah, how cemented into your level are you? That's actually very good. This is why we have this scholarly gentleman on here, because that is a very good, interesting thought process. Dave, what are your thoughts?
See, now, the scene where he disguises as the maid, he obviously says, "Oh, you know, when I'm on the top of my game, my disguises are seamless."
Seamless.
And I was just gonna do it. You beat me.
Yeah, I think that's him trying to downplay the fact that he is the cuteness and being the master of disguise. So, one of the final challenges of the master of disguise to become a master of disguise, I think, is for the grandfather to set up the grandson with an assistant / wife. So the entire challenge for the grandfather was, okay, well, you know, I can't be a master without being in his life, obviously, so I'm going to go in disguise as the cuteness, and then, like, you know, deep cover, essentially, and then just play that out until something happens.
I have a different take on why he became the cuteness, if I can share.
Continue, Michael, yes.
I think I really like the idea, I think Eli brought it up, that he is incredibly lazy. Because like with the book, I forget what it's called. The Master of Disguise book that they open up and it tells them
the handbook thing.
Yeah, the handbook.
Disguising handbook.
And it's like level 1.5 apprentice like can't be helped by grandpa, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I think he's very lazy, and so I think he became a dog so that other people would take care of him and that he didn't have to do anything.
Well, I think that's a very interesting thing. I think part of it could is very interesting. I also like Dave's interesting thought, though, that so Dave kind of threw some lore in there. I don't know if the rest of you guys caught it, but Dave's theory that a Master of Disguise must marry their assistant.
Yeah, that's something.
Would that imply that Pistachio's mother was an assistant at one point? And is that why she's so capable?
Yeah. I always got that impression.
I never saw that. I never understood that to be the case, but that makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
So his mom is the one driving away in the car when Fabrizio's Bo Derek at the beginning of this movie.
Well, no, see, that's less clear because it's a man's voice talking to him.
Yeah, that's the grandfather.
Yeah, I think it's the grandfather.
Away.
But I think the grandfather, he's talking to the narrator. I don't think he's talking to the driver.
No, it's really weird because they use the same like audio clip, like they recorded it at the same time. But I'm 90% sure the grandpa then is talking to Fabrizio in response to it,
like as the driver, though.
Yes, I believe that's what they're intending.
I
don't because I don't understand. I never understood it at that. I always understood that it was sort of a joke that Fabrizio was talking to the narrator.
Yeah.
Like I thought that was sort of supposed to be a joke, and it's
that's a really bad joke then. Jacob, what's your take on this?
If he was talking to the narrator, it didn't land for me. I was because I don't know. He's saying this is my son as like the initial joke, and that's how you know the movie's getting off to a good start. And I don't know. I think the grandpa is definitely I'm stumped here. I'm stumped. It's not satisfying that he's lazy to me.
Can I
that's where I'm at.
add to this a little bit?
Yeah.
I think
please.
he is lazy, but cares about his family enough to stick around them. So that's why he helps, but he does the bare minimum to help.
No, he does the dog minimum, actually.
Right, okay. He does the dog minimum to help. And I think
I had to register
it
that
kind
for a
of like
second.
shows his character, because what does he do that's like hard for him? He shows very little patience for Pistachio.
And actually, in a way, I think
Okay.
Michael might have a point here, because at the end, when like Jennifer's like, "Shouldn't you help him?" He's like, "No, this is the thing that a father and son should do together."
And it's why.
And it's like,
Why?
why wouldn't you help? So I'm actually starting to think that maybe the grandpa is just a lazy shit.
Yeah. He's
'Cause
like kind of a deadbeat.
there's two options here. Either the grandfather is the laziest piece of shit ever, or he's playing fucking 5D chess with everybody's minds and
Yeah.
their destinies. And
That's where I'm
at.
I am willing
Yeah.
to believe either side, because there's evidence for both. Dave has some
Okay.
good points.
Yeah, for the 5D chess maneuver, I was thinking about that, especially with today's watch. I watched it before the podcast, just tradition.
This
I
podcast, I don't know if you guys have heard of it. These guys watch Master Disguise once a week. It's pretty crazy.
wild, crazy guys. But yeah, I keep going back to like, why is the grandfather so mean? And the scenes that you see him actually be mean is all of them, all the way up until like he finally beat like his master challenge.
That's
his
not
challenge
true.
round there. So, like he's nice at the end of the movie, and I mean,
No,
he's
he's
kind of like
not.
a rude dick throughout the rest of it.
No, he's
But-
not.
He's using his ego to be an asshole as the grandfather. So then when the cuteness comes around, it's like, oh, this is the nice character. I'm going to latch on to the cuteness. And
No. I think
okay,
you're wrong. I think he's mean at the end of the movie. It's what Eli brought up. He literally just like, nah, just leave it. Let him fight. Like, that's mean.
and then after that, he's like, just like disguisey tradition.
But
Yeah, I feel like he makes this up, the tradition,
So,
to be
yeah.
honest with you.
But so I like either like and that scene where he says that father and son should deal with this. Either again, two solutions here, two roads. Either he's a lazy shit and just doesn't want to get involved, or he's a fucking crazy 5D genius who knows that this is what has to be done genuinely. There's no
That's-
middle
or-
ground here.
Well, okay, let me offer an alternative explanation.
Please.
Because my sort of lore about the grandpa and just disguises in general is that everything is preordained. Like, for them, it's like, it's destiny. He shows up at exactly the right time when he's needed. You have the pop-up book, right, that's like telling you exactly what you need to know, kind of breaking the fourth wall and everything.
Okay.
But, like, so I think part of what explains the grandpa's attitude is he knows how this is all going to play out already, right? It's written in the stars. And so like there are too many coincidences that the grandpa's at the center of, So that would explain some of, so that enters more into like the 5D chess side. Because he's on another plane.
So you're saying that the grandpa
as
doesn't have
everyone else.
free will because he's doing
Right.
what he is already knows has to happen.
I would go further and say I don't think any of the disguises have any free will.
Okay.
It's all written in that book.
I think differently on the movie, and I was going to bring this in my section, but it fits perfectly right here. I think the movie is incredibly secular because there's multiple scenes of like reference to God, and the main one is when Pistachio's praying. He goes, "Please, Heavenly Father, I will never mock you again."
Right.
Huh.
So I don't think the disguises are religious at all. I think they are I think they're very secular.
I don't
And so-
think.
Oh.
Well, I think maybe, possibly, they don't believe in a Christian God. They believe in their own disguisey religion.
The Energico god.
They
Okay.
worship the Energico.
Yeah, God is Energico. Yeah.
Right, but that
Okay.
doesn't work because unless they raise Pistachio with no god.
I mean, obviously they like probably like Energico, like Pistachio was obviously not worshiping a Christian god, because his father Fabrizio would not raise him in that way because Fabrizio secretly worships the Energico.
Right, but then so is Pistachio his whole life just worships this random god he knows nothing about?
No, I mean I don't think he worshipped any god, which is why he
Right.
mocked him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
All
you
right,
just
I
saw
can
it
get
as,
on
like,
board
a
with that.
joke.
I can get on board with that.
I think it
Huh.
makes a lot of sense for the Disguises to have a form of religion in the form of the Energico, because obviously to them Energico works. There is a mystical element there, and it is
Yeah.
helping them.
You know,
And it was a source of tension between the grandfather and his son, right?
Yeah, it's almost
he
like the
left
son
family.
stepped away. It's like the son
Yeah.
stepped
Yeah.
away from the religion.
Mhm.
So this is kind of a story like of redemption in a way of Fabrizio.
Of
Fabrizio
religious
is the one with
redemption.
the arc here, realizing that he was the one in the wrong, and that
Yeah,
that
it's religious redemption, I guess.
this is kind of
This
is
has
really interesting.
parallels with like the Bible.
But also the positives of Energico of giving these abilities are counteracted by the negatives, like Jacob was saying, how they are preordained to do exactly as the book says.
Yes. This is an
Mhm.
interesting thought.
So
going on
wait,
here.
Jesse Ventura was preordained to steal the Liberty Bell? Dude, that's wild.
You can't explain the ways of God, you know.
Dude, he works in mysterious ways, you know.
Right.
I can't even keep a straight face. What the fuck are we even saying? This is the craziest bullshit I've ever heard in my fucking life. What has this movie done to us? What are we saying? Why?
I didn't realize how ridiculous the things we were saying were until you just said that.
What is this? I'm so upset. I am so upset with myself for not even. It took like 20 minutes of bullshit God conversation for me to realize how ridiculous this is. We're talking
Okay.
about Master of Disguise.
It's a story about religious redemption.
This is one of the dumbest things I've ever been
Look.
involved with.
This
Look,
is like
let me-
this is the, Breaking Amish got their show idea from the Master of Disguise.
All right,
All right,
let me
Dave,
try and
continue.
let me-
That was a crazy rabbit hole. I'm sure Dave will have more.
let me try and ground us here by moving on to my next point. Specifically about Energico and time distortion powers.
It's like when you're tripping balls with all your friends and like one guy goes off on some crazy tangent about it, like existing, and you're all like
That's me.
totally with it. Like, oh my
I-
god. All right, sorry,
I'm
Dave.
with it.
Yeah, continue with the time distortion.
This movie needs to be watched on mushrooms. But go on.
Okay.
It'll
Oh,
happen this
God.
year, I promise.
So there, so with with the Energico book, like the Disguisey book, telling you all the different things that you need to know at the right time. I think that's like the time distortion. Like, here's the book of events that are going to happen. You have an obvious hang up. The book like molds itself around the timed event and then pops up with the pages. But then, like, if this book has been around for forever, like you assume it's roughly the same age as the Nest in a Box, which was early 12th century, so the 1100s.
Yeah, we did do that timeline.
Yeah. So then the book itself is showing like modern farm equipment, modern monsters, like new clothing. Was it showing like these different ages of clothing and monsters and like technology while people were opening the book then, or was it showing like future tech?
Are you allowed to open the book at any time? Like, if you like go to the back of the book, will you know when the world ends?
I think
Well, that's an interesting question because both times they open the book, it shows them exactly what they need. So what if you open it when you don't need something?
that's
Yeah.
just it though. It doesn't open until you need something.
So, because we sort of got into this last week about how like the book uses Energico to show you exactly what you need to see. At
I've
that
bought in
time.
on that. I've bought in on
Yeah.
that.
And
Thank
you.
I like, but I also really do like Jacob's idea that it is all predetermined in a way. Like
Yeah, I could see it
they
being
were
a genie
meant
in a
to
bottle
open the
thing.
book at that exact moment to that exact page because that was already pre-written.
Mm-hmm.
So adding to that, the scene where there's actually a fun quip here. The scene where Lincoln gets help, with his speech.
Yeah.
Now
Okay.
there's an actual noted event where Lincoln was such a thrilling orator that there was one speech he gave which nobody recorded it because they were too busy, focusing on him and paying attention to everything. And I think the Master of Disguise scene was just that. It was such an Energico event that people were so awestruck.
It
that
could not be recorded in history.
It couldn't be recorded.
Mm.
It
Well, I
passed
mean,
beyond the realms of imagination.
I will say it probably couldn't be recorded because they couldn't record things back then. But
Write it down.
They had books.
you
They-
mean
they
writing? Like there's a speech of his that no one wrote down.
Yeah.
That's interesting. As
And-
someone who likes history, that's actually very interesting.
And now
Outside
we
of the
know.
Master of Disguise, because that's bullshit what you're saying.
Well,
But-
no. We know that
Whoa.
speech that wasn't written down was supposed to say, "Hit it, boys. Let's party. I like to move it."
Guys, I just I took a drink of my water. I just took a drink of my water, and you said that, and I did the spit take.
That's my
Okay.
nomination. That's the worst scene in the movie, easily.
Oh God, no, but that's a rough
I don't know
one.
about worst scene in the movie.
That's low though.
I think
It's
the
a
brown
low
face
scene.
racism is the
yeah,
worst.
yeah.
Yes,
Jacob,
that's
yeah.
the worst scene.
Jacob,
Oh
you're
my God.
forgetting the racism.
True.
The blatant.
And the racism is also a missed opportunity because the grandpa starts to scold him. Like,
Yeah.
no, like you're doing a cheap imitation, and then they drop the ball. Like they had
Yeah.
the opportunity.
They double down.
Like, oh no,
Yeah,
they doubled down. It sucked.
They had
Oh.
They
the
neo-brained
opportunity to save themselves. I mean, it's
Yeah.
already bad because the brown face. It's already bad.
But
oh
they,
my
like,
God, it's
There was
so
a
bad.
moment where they could have saved themselves, and they
The
absolutely
okay.
did not.
the side comment, the YouTube comments for that video and like an interview with Dana Carvey that Eli actually sent me
Yeah.
are hilarious because they're all like, you couldn't make jokes like this nowadays.
Yeah,
Cancel
culture.
culture. And it's like, what the fuck are you saying? Like, this is just...
It's really funny watching interviews of Dana Carvey trying to promote this movie because he barely talks about it.
No,
He
God,
I
barely
wonder
talks
why.
about the movie, and when he does, he's like, "Oh, I play this Italian idiot, and just watch the scene."
I wonder why he's trying to downplay it.
And oftentimes he does it with a weird, like Paul McCartney impersonation.
Well, he doesn't know anything besides impersonating people. But
It's very
alright.
weird.
God. All right, I've got one last point to talk about here,
Yeah,
and it's
Dave, you're good.
It's our favorite here, the cherry pie. I like to call it the cherry pie man incident.
Yes.
So starting from the top here, I tried to look at this like in a couple of different ways. The beginning of like the whole cherry pie man was Barney Baker on the roof talking to, which I actually want to, before that, Pistachio is apparently on the roof enough that Barney Baker was able to come into the house and find him directly on the roof.
yeah, I never considered that Barney goes
Knew
straight
where
to
to
the
go.
roof.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like how often is he just chilling on the fucking roof, man? But the scene where he suggests, going as Cherry Pie Man or whatever, and then the grandpa wanking to himself there. The cuteness grandfather runs in through the doggy door on this mansion apparently.
Mm-hmm.
And then goes in and then sees the aftermath of the scene where what was the chef's name? Palmer? He's like,
Yeah,
no
Palmer.
cherry pie
Yeah.
today?
Yeah.
Yeah. He carts it back out and his line is, oh, I don't even know where this came from. And then
Right.
there's just like no real like throughput there. It's just like, all right, whatever, there's a pie, I'll just throw it over here. And then the guards, when they say, it's Cherry Pie Man, get him. That means that enough people in the local area at least know about Cherry Pie Man, and it's enough of a recent-ish problem that they still continuously talk about it, on top of the base possibly being raided by Cherry Pie Man frequently.
I'd like, yeah, okay, so this is, in my understanding of Cherry Pie Man, is that much like a cryptid, or like, say, a ghost, like the idea of a ghost, where everybody sees it, and they'll talk about it, and like, oh my god, guess what I saw?
Yeah.
I saw the Cherry Pie Man today. And then everyone else is like, dude, you're crazy, dude, that never happened. And then they see it. And then they're like, oh my god, it's real.
This is a big point I want to add up, and I'm going to feel like Dave doing this, but I need to add some lore with Cherry Pie Man. Okay. So, Barney gives him the idea for Cherry Pie Man, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that leads us to two ideas. One, Barney knows who Cherry Pie Man is, which leads to other questions.
It's
Or,
a local cryptid.
or Barney is Cherry Pie Man.
Whoa.
This makes a lot of sense.
And he
That
tells
makes-
Pistachio about Cherry Pie Man and the details of Cherry Pie Man so that he can accurately
So are
impersonate
you
him.
saying that Cherry Pie Man is not actually some sort of supernatural being, but is Barney Baker in a cherry pie outfit terrorizing this local mansion?
Can I actually
I'm open to
add
both
that?
possibilities. Yeah, go ahead, Dave.
I think he may be part of a tribe of Cherry Pie men.
Ooh, and he's like in training to be the next.
Barney
like-
Baker,
Wait.
just much like Slenderman.
Yeah, go ahead, Jacob.
If Barney, okay, so there's obviously this sort of patrilineal thing with the disguises
Right.
and all of that. And we were talking about Destiny earlier. Does that mean that Barney is sort of the de facto next disguisee, which would then kind of explain his early prowess for being the Cherry Pie Man?
Oh,
That would be
the
very-
world
There we
is
go.
predetermined.
Yeah.
Because
Oh.
so that's very interesting. So that means that Energico is not a genetic thing.
No, I
it's
don't
a
think it
background
is.
force.
Chooses who is going to be the next person, and
Correct.
through the predetermination that Jacob has already brought up, the Energico knew that Barney Baker would be the next in line.
Whoa.
So
And I
it-
bet
just
if
like-
they made a sequel, Barney, it would have starred Barney. for
Just
sure.
like how
Son of
Pistachio was already putting a towel, his underwear on his head and doing a beard,
Mm-hmm.
Barney Baker was going around a rich person's mansion, terrorizing them as a cherry pie monster.
Just
Inexplicably.
shooting cherries at him.
Seemingly for no reason.
He did not know
So-
why, and that's why we never see Cherry Pie Man on a skateboard.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? The best part about this whole Cherry Pie Man thing is to add to Devlin Bowman's evil character, he's a Cherry Pie Man denier. Like, he looks at it
is.
just like, oh, the Cherry Pie Man, you're ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
He's a Cherry Pie Man cryptid denier. So how evil is
He's
that?
a skeptic.
Yeah, he's a skeptic. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm really glad you guys received this well because when I wrote that in my notes, I was like, they're going to make fun of me so hard for this.
Well, it's very funny that you bring that up because I actually had something in my notes about Barney Baker knowing Cherry Pie Man beforehand, but I never had the leap that Barney Baker was Cherry Pie Man.
See,
Yeah.
now,
I
I'm going to look
think
into
that- Dave, as the resident
Lore expert.
researcher and
I'll
lore
be the
expert,
Laura. I mean,
you put some work,
yeah.
put some look into that.
So put some man hours in.
Yeah, and you let us know. You let us know,
Jacob.
Dave.
Jacob, as the true master here, what do you? Are you in agreement?
I like this theory a lot, and I do think it can tie into some of my other kind of
Yes.
ridiculous
Predetermined.
musings that I've had about this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This
Okay.
this honestly puts Barney Baker down a very interesting like destiny, basically. Like down the line, his life is going to be very interesting.
Yes.
Who-
Dave.
Someone
go
that
ahead,
could
Eli.
have been a professional skateboarder in his future now has to become a master of disguise. That's kind of sad.
He has no
Predetermined
choice.
events.
He has no choice. It's like those famous scenes in those bad movies. It's like, no, Dad, it's your dream. It's like that. Like Barney never wanted this, but he has to.
But because
He
the
could've-
Energico chose him.
Yeah, he
Look,
has
And
no
that's
choice.
and that's what's kind of fucked up about it.
He could have been a slave the rest of his life, but he won that pod
Or
race
some,
and he got
you
sent
know,
to the temple.
As a fan of The Witcher, it's kind of like being a Witcher. You don't choose to be a Witcher. You're a child when it happens, but you're cursed your whole life with this,
Mm-hmm.
That's
At least Barney will be able to disguise himself as his skateboard heroes and just be better
That's
at
true.
skateboard.
That's true. Dave, what else do you got?
Just cherry, like I'm losing my
Anything
mind
else?
with the possibility of cherry pie men. Like I think that's the
Multiple.
wildest things to me. Later on, I'd like to see about digging more into like disguisey powers, specifically like time manipulation and telepathy. Is I think one of them. So the scene where
Okay.
Pistachio gets the big reveal about his mom making just in the kitchen making food because of the poisoned caramel corn, is kind of changed when he just goes, the mama, look out, when the dude's coming up out of the flour on the table.
Yeah.
She turns around and headbutts him and then gives her big like no more caramel corn for me. But did she know that he was there, or did he reach out to her?
She doesn't have Energico.
as far as we know.
But
Can
I think
two
it's
people
like,
without Energico? Can someone with Energico who to talk to someone who doesn't have Energico?
I think that's an interesting point, Dave. What do you
now
think?
I'm thinking it's the master and the assistant combo works like a magnet. A magnet has two polarities, right? It's like a north and a south pole. So the north pole is like the master, and then the south pole is the assistant. The assistant actually does the majority of the work.
Yes.
Yeah, like any scene that you see Jennifer in, I mean, Pistachio is just out, doing his little like disguise and being a huge distraction. And then you see Jennifer going like with all these odds and ends and getting like all the little details down. She gets the disguisey like the actual knowledge of being like a disguisey and a spy. Meanwhile, Pistachio is getting like all the powers and stuff, and it's like, okay, I could be the wild card while you're the more structured one here.
Yeah, it just in general, this seems kind of like misogynistic that the men are the ones who get the cool powers and the women are like the sidekicks. Always, Like, why aren't there any women with Energico?
But I think it's more of a like, you lead with your bodyguard.
But why aren't there any women with Energico?
We don't know that yet.
I mean, there's a line of disguises. None of the women had Energico.
Yeah,
We
there's
don't know that yet.
Yeah, I guess there is that like strong patrilineal line that at least they're showing in the movie, and then I mean we could talk for hours just about women in the movie. It's sad.
Yeah, no, it's
Poor
really bad.
Jennifer.
Yeah,
Poor
it's
Jennifer.
really bad.
Oh god.
It's I really feel bad for people of color and women in this movie. They really get the fucking shaft. I'm trying to really think about it. I think the only person of color who gets a line is Palmer, right?
Yeah, but it's
The
ADR
cigar
too.
maker.
Yeah,
This,
the pie maker
Oh,
guy.
Yeah.
Cigar maker,
Oh,
I
cigar
guess.
maker. Yeah, you're okay. You're
Palmer.
right. The cigar maker
There's-
is a person of color.
There's the
And I
woman
will-
at the resort that just goes, "Oh, it's President Bush."
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
but
good.
both Palmer and that lady are ADR. Like, it's not them.
That's I don't know. I think it could be Palmer. The lady's definitely ADR. Palmer also, I think, is in top 3 characters in this movie.
Oh, Palmer's a king. It's him, Rex, and Trent. Those are the best characters in the movie.
Trent, yeah.
I don't know. Don't forget about the Texas guy.
He's top 10 for
meatballs.
sure. Yeah.
Some man-
Trent is number 1. I would die for Trent.
Yeah, Trent is amazing. He has 2 scenes and he absolutely fucking kills both of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
His
Trent
tight blue
is probably-
sweater.
Yeah. Lay
How-
off my
how
lady,
did they-
you freak.
How did they not notice each other in the bar?
Can we make a rule not to bring that up ever again? Because I am going to get angry.
This is a very short movie, and we have a lot to discuss. It's gonna get brought up.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to get brought up.
I hate that scene so goddamn much.
You are trying to horn in on my action.
My
aren't
action,
you?
Archa.
Archa.
What? Are you mocking me?
Are you mocking me?
Can you call Mr. Peru a color of character?
No.
Okay,
because-
well, I want to pose this question to you. This is something that I wanted all of your thoughts on. When you are using Energico, you become another person, right? So
Yeah.
Okay.
my implication, what I take from that is in those moments, Pistachio does not exist, right? He is Tony Montana, whatever, Mr. Peru, you say, right? And so, I mean, you could make, this is like the Lawyer from Hell case where you're like, is it actually brown face? If Pistachio is truly becoming.
Okay.
Uh,
All right.
in
Well,
the
no, no.
context, in the universe of the movie, no.
Man,
Yeah.
okay.
It's
Dana Carvey
alive.
still did brown face.
Pistachio
Yeah.
didn't do brown face.
Yeah.
Dana Carvey did.
But then, how do you get
Multiple
brought out
times.
of the disguise? Because he chooses to come out of the disguise sometimes. Most of the time.
Yeah.
So,
And,
do you have
and
some
legally-
awareness?
He has to.
Yeah. And his disguises also get interrupted sometimes, like
Yes.
the cow pie guy
Yeah.
and the cherry pie
Well,
man.
I
too.
think of the Quint scene because in that one he brings himself out,
Yes.
where he's like, "Stop becoming another person."
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
in that particular scene, he shows that he does have a level of self-awareness, but also that could just be because he isn't a master yet. He is a 1.5 apprentice.
But wouldn't that be a benefit? Wouldn't that always be a benefit, knowing you're not? Why, if you're a master and then you become someone else and you don't know, that seems like a detriment.
Hey, sometimes when you go deep undercover, you forget who you are. You know.
Damn.
You have
Really
to
be
become
like that.
another person.
It really be like that.
It really
Alright.
do. Yeah, Dave.
I am.
Anything
I
else?
I am officially done. I would just like to real quick at the end say Constable Mueller fucking sucks.
Yeah, he's bottom tier.
Consul
Um,
Mueller sucks.
if-
Same with Gammy
if-
Num Num.
If
Hey.
it's okay with
Okay.
everyone,
I just
go ahead. No, don't talk about
I like
Gammy.
Constable Mueller. I know.
What? Do you like Constable Mueller?
You just have bad
I like
taste
him.
now.
I like both of them.
Oh.
All right, are you like
Characters.
Jacob, real quick. Favorite, like, top 3 disguises and bottom 3. Go.
I'm really basic in that I think the turtle it's hard to choose anything other than the turtle for number 1. I think you got to go with the iconic one. And you guys are gonna hate it, but I think Gammy Num Nums might be number 2 for me. And Mary.
How is Quint?
No. Let him finish. Let him finish, then we'll yell at him.
I like Cherry Pie Man. Maybe maybe Terry Suave though.
Terry Suave.
That's his name, right? Yeah.
Good Terry
Yeah.
Swab, yeah.
Okay, bottom 3.
Okay, so I also defer in that I don't like, I'm not a huge fart poop joke guy. I don't like the cow pie disguise.
Okay.
Yeah. And, but I love the Jaws ripoff too.
Yeah,
Ooh,
he's
that's
great.
tough.
Quint. That's Quint.
Yeah.
That's the best.
Yeah.
That's one of the best in the movie.
It's the best
Yeah,
scene in the movie.
I like that one. It's hard to choose between all your children, you know?
I'm asking you to Sophie's Choice this, please.
Yeah. It's,
Please.
okay. Yeah, no, I'm okay with those decisions. I don't like Mr. Peru all that much. I think Prince Lamijan is obviously the worst. That's like the
Yeah.
clear
Yeah.
bottom.
That's yeah.
Okay, if it's okay with everyone, I would like to go next.
Okay, Michael, you
Yeah,
can go next.
please.
But first, I want to yell at Jacob because Gammy Num Num fucking sucks.
Gammy Num Num rules.
Okay.
Yeah.
All I
Gammy
have to
Stan.
say- all I have to say is the line, your desires are perfectly normal, or something like that. Great line.
Yeah.
And pressure, pushing me back.
Yes, yes, it's so
And-
good.
No, and you know what it is?
And
I
don't
hate
you-
the fucking line that's like, well, listen here, Buster. Listen here, Backstreet Boy. I'm not gonna be the Malcolm in your middle. That line makes no fucking sense.
Yeah,
It's a
one's
bunch of
rough. That
references.
one's really rough. But
It's
made
references
up
that don't
for-
make sense. Okay,
It's made up for by "Aren't you a tall drink of water?" and I just love moisture.
that is a decent line. I will give you that.
Yeah,
Um,
great line.
Okay,
I love
so
that scene.
my first point is Would this movie be better if it was more like Hitman? So for those unaware, Jacob, do you play video games?
I do play video games. I've never played Hitman, though.
Okay, so the premise of Hitman for our listeners and Jacob, if Agent 47 is this bald guy who knocks people out or kills them and then can put on their outfits and can become them, right? Pretty easily. Like, it's kind of like comical how easy he can do it. Like, he just puts on a chef outfit and everyone thinks he's the chef. Or a bodyguard outfit, everyone thinks he's a bodyguard, and vice versa, right? And so on. So, would this movie be better if you remove all energy? Better. Not more interesting to talk about or anything, but better as a movie. You remove all Energico, and it's just the grandfather teaching Pistachio how to disguise himself without magical powers.
So I feel like I feel like Energico is kind of your balancing factor here. Like, if you threw Energico into Hitman, you essentially have like the dark side version of Master of Disguise.
I'm kind of with Dave there, Michael. You actually just sort of did the opposite thing for me, where I'm thinking that now Hitman Agent 47 has the power of Energico.
All right, listen. No.
So you just infected another franchise.
The scene where he throws the suitcase, that's the disguise, that's a nest in a box, that he's just whipping at people and it like travels with his dark Energico powers.
No. All right. I'm moving on from this because now I don't want you guys to ruin one of my
No. You're the one who brought this up. You're going to fucking finish this conversation.
Okay, fine. All right. Without it, remove Hitman from this. Let's pretend no Energico, no magic. Pistachio is just really good at disguising himself, going undercover, and his grandfather taught him those skills. Would the movie be better? And I think the answer is a resounding yes.
Well, no. I think anything would make this movie better. I'm going to be honest with you, but is that what we want?
No, I don't want that. But I think it would be a better movie. First watch, people would enjoy it more. Energico leads to so many questions and so many non-answers that I think it would be a better movie if you remove all of that.
Okay, so you're thinking it would be better as sort of a spy thriller.
Yes, if you make it more spy-like, yes.
So like Mission Impossible, but they focus even more on the disguise, like the mask.
Yes.
I mean, that would make it interesting, I guess, but
I think it would be a better movie.
I don't think so.
Oh my god. Okay.
Nah. yeah, everything that Michael just said, I don't know.
Nah.
I don't think so.
I think it would be. I think it would just fall out of obscurity. Like it's just too basic like that. You need kind of the magical aspect.
This movie has already fallen into obscurity.
Yeah.
So, and when you ask me about this movie, no one remembers Energico. Anyways, my next point.
Do you remember the turtle scene?
My mother-in-law did remember Energico. When I brought this up to my mother-in-law, she immediately was like, Energico.
Oh, boy.
There's a line in the movie that always bothered me, and I have yet to bring it up. When he's talking to Devin Bowman is talking to the Black Mark eBay guy, he shows him Fabrizio, and the Black Mark eBay guy, can we name him? What are we naming him?
I don't know. Mike.
B-Mark?
Marky.
Mark.
Yeah, Marky.
Yeah. So Marky says, are you going to auction him off? And Bowman says, too easy. What is too easy about auctioning him off?
Because that would just be slavery. Everyone's done that.
But like, what is he? Is that what he means?
I guess that would be like, I'm grabbing a few $1 million here just to auction this guy off, and then he's out of my life. But that's too easy. I gotta go with this guaranteed he's out of my life route by killing him.
In his mind,
no.
that plan isn't smart enough.
Okay. I think that's a dumb line, and I think it doesn't make sense. Also, another line that pisses me off is when, right after Pistachio is Cherry Pie Man, he's, like, trying to disguise himself as, Steve, I believe his name is.
Yeah.
And Bowman goes, Steve, your wife called. And then it cuts right there, and Steve or Pistachio goes, oh, thanks. who would just say, "Oh, your wife called," and end it there? Wouldn't they say like, "Oh, your wife called. She said da 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 da." I feel like something happened to the end of that scene. It cut so awkwardly.
So
like
you want there to be a
Wait.
reason for his fiction, his
It-
like non-existent wife to have called.
yes,
It could just be, hey, give her a call back. You know.
Yeah,
but he doesn't
that's what-
say
that's what I
that.
got.
It was just like, "Hey, your wife
Yeah.
called." But no, and if you watch the edit, and I've edited enough things and had to cut things awkwardly enough to know that something was said after that. Like it continues. You can tell by the way it's cut. And it bothers me because I want to know why it's cut and what he said.
Do you think
what's
somewhere
wife
the
worried
footage
about?
exists?
No. No, God, no.
That would
No,
be
this
a
movie's dead.
stretch.
Somewhere in the deep underground, underneath Happy Madison Productions,
Some
It's
archive
gotta
somewhere.
be somewhere.
we can find all the B-roll for Master of Disguise.
Okay, so next is does the father know that the cuteness is the grandpa?
No,
No?
I doubt it.
absolutely not.
Okay, so then that's weird because like I have pets. I change in front of my pets, you know?
Yeah,
Sometimes-
he definitely saw his
Some-
son get his bone
kids.
on.
Yeah.
Like that's uncomfortable for me then. That makes me really, really uncomfortable.
Stop changing in front of Mochi.
I will.
Yeah,
I
your
will.
cat, Michael, your cat Mochi, that could be a relative of yours. You don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
Why-
So I googled what would happen if you add copper sulfate and luminol. And this forms a molecule that has an excited electron state. The molecule then sheds its extra energy in the form of light. This is a cool light it has no heat created along with it, looking like a glowing blue color. So it shouldn't have exploded.
My only thing about that is that you didn't say it right.
Yeah.
Copper
Yeah.
sulfate
Copper
Copper.
sulfate.
and a little bit of luminol.
Luminol.
Thank you. That's all I needed. That's
Yeah.
all I wanted.
Correction I would like to make. Fighting does involve energy go. There is a throwaway line about it. So the slapping is energy go.
Which line is that?
It's right when he's getting taught it, he says like, "Let the energy go flow through you"
Boom.
to the slapping dummy. So
yep.
I will make a correction. I said that it does not, but it does. See, I'm willing to correct myself.
And
Okay.
That's
I'm
great.
sure you will eventually come to be on Dave's side for everything else.
Yeah,
Honestly.
probably not. So, another question I would like to pose: how do the powers work with fictional people? Because Pistachio impersonates Mr. Peru, who's based on Al Pacino's character in Scarface. And so, is Mr. Peru a fictional character in this universe, or is he a real person? And if he's a fictional character, can Pistachio just impersonate fictional characters? Could he impersonate like Sauron from Lord of the Rings and get his powers?
So I think
Oh.
actually that has a little bit of lean into it because you've got that scene where Jennifer is running through Devlin's mansion, and you hear the guards coming from upstairs going, "Oh, there's no way he's so real looking. Nah, man, Scooby Doo's 3D CGI or whatever."
Mm-hmm.
So
Don't
modern
say
movies are being talked about in this universe,
Oh,
meaning
okay.
that he could actually disguise himself as Sauron.
Right. So then, does he get Sauron's powers, or does he get?
I would
One
say
second.
he
One
does.
second. I'm so sorry, Michael. What did you think Dave was about to say? Because you said don't say it.
I was really worried he was going to say that one of the disguises was Scooby Doo in the movie.
Now that I'm thinking about it,
Okay, that's what I thought you may have been worried about. So I just needed to confirm. Thank you.
Who's really to say, you know?
Yeah.
honestly,
Because there's a lot of
unmasking.
unmasking done in Scooby Doo.
it was predetermined that those guards would talk about Scooby Doo as they walk by.
Okay. So, but
Scrappy Doo it has the power of Energico in the Scooby Doo
that's
live action
true.
movie.
That's true. So, but does he gain powers of fictional characters then?
I would say
I
yes,
think-
and there's evidence to support it. In that, and
Yeah.
it's just one scene, but the turtle scene when he bites the guy's nose off.
Yeah.
It's a whole new level of magic that we've seen. Like
He
that's
disguised
some other
himself
stuff
as the
going
turtle.
So then it,
So,
it
yeah.
leads into another question of like, why does Pistachio waste his time?
Well, with great power comes great responsibility.
This is the good side of Energy Go.
It would be irresponsible for him to become Sauron.
Well, and then also another thing I would like to add: the Fabrizio T poses and floats at the beginning scene, so he
As Bo
knows as Bo Derek. So one, can Bo Derek fly, and two, where does he get that power? Like there is special powers that we don't know how they get.
Well, it's because Bo Derek can fly,
Okay, well that's what I thought.
and that's why Fabrizio can fly, because Bo Derek can.
So I think you do gain the powers of fictional people, interestingly enough, but
And
maybe it
real
requires
people,
a
like Bo
high
Derek and her ability to fly.
right, right.
Yeah.
As we all know, Bo
Bo
Derek,
Derek
can
can
fly.
fly. Okay, that's just a given. Okay, you can't even argue that.
So I find that interesting that that he doesn't use those powers. Also, another throwaway thing I would like to point out. At the end of the movie, Marky is asking Bowman things. It's like a cut scene,
Yeah,
a
the
deleted
creepy
scene that's
shit.
like, oh, what about this? What about this? And then he goes, the Olsen twins. I looked it up.
Yes.
The Olsen twins were 16.
Yeah.
I also looked this up.
Yeah.
And he mentions Britney Spears, and Dave was thinking that Britney Spears may have been underage at that point, but she was not.
She was
it's still
not,
creepy.
yeah.
It's still creepy though.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
the Olsen twins thing, definitely not okay.
Yeah,
like
they
that's
were, what,
kind of
16?
fucked up that they even left that in.
Yeah.
But look at the rest of the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, that's a really creepy thing to leave in a movie that they claim is for children.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
well, you have
I
to-
have the same note. I'm seeing that I wrote in all caps on my blog at one point. This movie is PG, and a grown-ass man is inquiring about having a threesome with a man role-playing as two 16-year-old girls.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
the
not
other
only are
thing,
they
too.
underage,
It's
but also that's incest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like, rough one.
So next, I watched the movie in VR. I used shit. What's it called?
Oculus Quest 2.
Yeah. But the program, big screen VR. Yeah, big screen VR, where like you sit in a virtual movie theater and watch the movie, and that was great. That was honestly the best experience I've had watching this movie yet. And then I wrote a poem.
Real quick question. So I
Oh, yeah.
know, because I also have a VR headset, that you are able to throw virtual tomatoes at the screen.
Yeah.
Were you doing that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, it made
Okay.
it more fun.
Yeah.
Virtual
I would imagine.
tomatoes.
Continue.
I wrote a poem.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about this.
Okay, you guys ready?
Yeah, well, give the backstory
Yeah,
first,
please,
why you wrote
please.
this poem.
I don't remember. Can you tell me?
Yeah, the other day, we have a group text, me, Michael, and Dave, and Michael's like, I don't know if I can do this. This is awful. I fucking hate myself when I'm watching this movie. And I said, write a poem.
And yeah, so I hold on. So I wrote a poem. Are you guys ready?
Yes, please.
Yeah, please.
Darkness is all I see. The disguises become me. Do I continue? Should I rebel? Will Pistachio let me be? I feel like a turtle in a shell, my ears ringing from the Liberty Bell. I am lost. Why did I agree? Num Num has me under her spell.
Wow.
The inconsistencies make my eyes bleed. Was this just created out of greed? This experience is the 8th layer of hell. I just need to be freed. Thoughts?
It sounds like you're having a good time.
if there's anything I can glean from that is from a happy person.
Yeah, honestly.
Having just the best time. That you put more effort into that than I assumed you would. That was actually
Very
I
well
did.
done.
I did like a real rhyme scheme. Like
Yeah.
I think it's beautiful, and this movie brings the best out of people.
It reaches into some places that we didn't know we had.
It really does open up your soul creatively.
So just a few final notes, quick fire notes. Trent is the best character in the movie.
Trent's great.
Okay. Yeah.
Second is Rex rocks. He gets it.
Yeah, he knows what's up.
He knocking over Pistachio was the right idea. And finally, the nest in the box is breaks the rule of Chekhov's gun because we never see it in action. It's introduced like Chekhov's gun, but it never comes into play really.
Yeah.
Like he
Might have been
never
part of
needs
a-
to use it.
It might have been part of a cut scene. But
I don't
it's,
know,
like,
but it
implied.
but like it literally is introduced like Chekhov's gun, but it's not there.
Yeah.
One final thing, I emailed you guys a link or an email at the beginning of this podcast with the subject line "Don't open till further notice." Now is that notice? We've mentioned before that the end of the movie with George Washington, they are impersonating, like they couldn't get the main actors back, so they just used the goons from earlier. Those are not the are you guys looking at the pictures?
Yeah.
These are not the same. Eli won't be able to notice it because he has face blindness.
That
but
is true.
they are different people. These are the fucking actors, Fabrizio and the grandpa, in the makeup for
What the
these
hell?
side characters. It's not actually the side characters. It's the main people in the makeup for the side characters.
So that's the wait. What?
Yes.
They're different people.
So, which leads to the question, because that's obviously who they're trying to be, but that's Fabrizio and the grandpa. Why?
Yeah.
One, why are they in makeup for it? It's established in the movie that you just look exactly like the other person. And two, why didn't they just be themselves?
Wait, so that's Harold Gould and James Brolin in that?
I believe
in that
it is.
Makeup?
I believe
In the
so.
top-
It looks like
yeah,
it.
In
What?
Pick 2.
Wait.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
What
And
a-
in below,
what a
so
weird-
like that's who they're trying to be, obviously. The
Yeah.
people in the
Yeah.
Quint scene.
I always assumed that they were the same actors.
Right, because
Yeah.
you hardly see their face. But
What?
these
They were
are
just dubbed
diff-
over.
It doesn't make any fucking sense to me. It breaks the rules of the movie. And if you couldn't get the side characters back for some weird reason, why have them?
I'm
Just
so
do something else.
not
That-
cool with what is happening right now. What are you? Wait.
That's a
This
good
is so
find.
weird.
Wait, how do they talk? How do what are their voices? Do they say? Because like they snap their.
It's
fingers
like
and
off
say
screen.
something.
It's like off screen.
Yeah,
They
they
have-
do have the voices of those actors. There.
Yes.
They sound like the grandpa and the dad.
Yeah.
Like
what?
I'm.
So it's like
I-
I don't because they are. It's obviously in the top picture at the end of the movie in the George Bush scene. The grandpa and the dad in makeup, like the actors in makeup,
Yeah.
but because they couldn't get the side characters back.
What?
But that breaks the rules of the fucking movie.
So,
and
okay.
why do that?
This is a very visual element. Really quick, just for people listening, the main henchmen come back in the last scene. There was a reshoot, and for some reason, it's different actors. We know that for sure.
Yeah.
But it might be Harold Gould and James Brolin, two older actors in makeup to look like the minor henchmen. Why would you put in that effort?
And it makes
Yeah, why
it
bother?
breaks the rules of the movie, and it why do that? If you couldn't get the side characters back, do something different.
What the fuck?
I'm
I'm
actually
pissed.
confused.
So okay, like you mentioned, I have face blindness. I can't tell the difference between people's faces. So to me, these look identical in these pictures that you just sent us.
Okay.
Even if I had opened this email early, I would not understand what it was.
Okay.
What the hell?
But I just is it obvious?
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
It's,
right, Jacob?
It's noticeable that now that you're looking more at
It's
it.
noticeable. Yeah. The scene is so fast
That you
like,
don't
it's
notice
easy
it.
to miss.
The only
Yeah.
way I found is because I got a phone call during the end of the movie and I paused it.
Huh.
I'm so not okay with this.
That is a dumb fill-in.
Yeah, it made me so mad. But
This
I'm
is-
done. If someone would like to go next.
What the fuck?
Okay, so this. Okay, I'm not done reacting to this though. Give me a second.
No,
I just need to
yeah.
process
Yeah.
because this is one of the weirder things, if not the weirdest,
Yeah.
about like Okay. We can move on. We can move on.
The endings
It just-
are a mess.
It's
and
taken me
that's
a
what
second.
adds
It's
to
taken
it.
me a second.
Yeah.
God.
Jacob, would you like to go next or should I?
Go for it, and then I have some rapid fires and some prompts, some questions.
Okay.
For you.
All right,
Perfect.
you know that'll be a
Gotcha,
good way to end
gotcha.
it. So I am gonna go through my different viewings real quick. When I was last on an episode, I had watched it 6 times. So my 7th viewing wasn't that bad. I think I have a suspicion that it was because it was right after we recorded an episode.
Mm-hmm.
Because honestly, I don't know what it is, but like this is almost like therapeutic in a way, having these conversations in the episodes.
Yeah, it's the
Because
release.
like my 6th viewing, if you recall, was the most dull, boring bullshit, and I was googling mineral water.
Mm-hmm. I would like to say every store I go to with a like bottled water section, I'm looking for it and I don't see it.
I'm the same way. I've been looking for the Soleil water. But like my 7th viewing for some reason, and I think it was because it was right after like I was able to vent it with peers. Not so bad. It was like I was all right. Not a lot of new things. I had a weird observation that Jacob actually had in his blog that I later read. When Constable Mueller shows up at the house, he asks for Jennifer Baker when they don't know her as Jennifer Baker. They know her as Barb.
Yeah.
Oh.
Alright.
I mean, that could be part of like his like non-training background,
Like-
like he messed
Right,
up.
but they don't react to it. They're like, okay.
Yeah, the fact that they're like, okay, yeah, we'll go get her. Like they don't know that
Huh.
she's Jennifer Baker. They know her as Barb. Like, so that's like something I didn't like. I think one of the unsung heroes of this movie is Keenan's friend Doug.
Why?
The dude chilling in the background reading a magazine.
He doesn't give a shit. When Kenan Thompson is like eating cereal and being like, dude, there's ninjas on the screen right now. That guy doesn't give a fuck. He's like, all right.
Yeah, cool ninjas.
His friend
got it.
Doug is stoned as fuck. He's in his element. He's moisturized and he's vibing. He doesn't need none of this Kenan Thompson bullshit. So I wanted that to be known. I noticed something, and Dave, this is something that you could probably sink your teeth into a little bit. But
Okay.
I have a slight theory that Devlin Bowman is a dying man.
Great start.
I think throughout this movie, Devlin Bowman has an illness, and I don't think he's going to get better.
So it's like a Breaking Bad situation?
I think it might be. So there's a few things that make me think this. One, the fact that he's not able to control his bowels.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's just a little extra farty.
I just like I don't think we should be laughing at this man. I think he's struggling.
Yeah.
I think he has some gastrointestinal issues. That are he has definitely some issues. But there's a lot of going on. He probably developed the sickness while he was in prison, in the Italian prison. And there's something, the one big thing that really led me to this theory was when he first introduces himself to Fabrizio. Fabrizio says very clearly, he goes, "You're a sick man, Bowman."
No, I don't think he means it that way.
No, think about it.
So
No, I did. I did think about it.
And
No, I did.
So Fabrizio is telling us, the audience, that Bowman is sick and dying.
No, he's not.
What? Who's to say he isn't?
Me.
Who are you? Who are you to say that Devlin Bowman is not a sick man. Okay. How many well people do you know that can fart so hard at the bottom of a pool that a wave comes out?
Listen, I
Yeah,
don't wanna
that's
brag
like your
or
death
anything.
fart.
I think he dies there. I mean, who
Oh,
knows?
for
But,
sure.
like,
That man
Oh,
is
yeah.
dead as fuck.
Yeah, no, I'm with you that he absolutely died, but I don't think
You're-
he was well beforehand.
Your bowels release on death.
I think that was
so
a
they just
mercy
witness the
killing, if
guy
anything.
die.
So just something to think about.
I don't agree with this, but go on.
Look, I'm not gonna feel bad for a rich man dying, specifically a cherry pie man denier. Okay.
Yeah. Dave's correct. Okay, so then there was my 8th viewing. I decided I fucking hate myself, so I watched it upside down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why not?
Like you physically or the movie
The
itself?
movie, I switched it upside down.
I was hoping you were upside down the whole time.
Yeah, that would be harder. I'm gonna be honest with you. No, I watched the movie upside down, and I'm gonna tell you something. It changes nothing. It's still awful. In fact, it's worse. It's just harder to watch. I noticed nothing new. I just had a terrible time watching it. It was a bad idea.
I
And
have
then
some bad
speaking-
ideas for the future.
Then, speaking of bad ideas, my 9th viewing, I kind of got frustrated that viewing 8 didn't yield any results. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go full Michael mode on this. I'm going to torture myself for my art here. So I started the movie with a rule that I was going to watch the entire movie while standing on one foot.
whoa.
Oh.
And every time
Huh.
I lost balance and had to, like, put my other foot down, I was going to rewind the movie by 3 minutes.
Oh.
It ended up taking me about a little bit over 2 hours to finish the movie.
You have some good balance, Eli.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, I fell quite a few times, but yeah, my balance is all right. But I think the most embarrassing moments of falling were the first fart joke made me laugh and I lost my balance. That was embarrassing. Oh, and also one of the rules was halfway through the movie I swapped feet.
Okay.
So I wasn't like dying. I fell during the ship pile song. He's the master of.
Oh, you
disguise.
guys, all right. That's not bad. You guys
I
listen
fell
to
during
Yeah.
that song because I was dancing.
Yeah, you gotta rock out.
But it was okay because I got to rewatch the Quint scene,
Yeah.
which is the best scene. One of my notes here is just, I hate this so goddamn much. Someone please send help. I hate this so goddamn much. I'm sleep deprived. Why did I do this?
Okay.
Movie is done. I am not watching credits on one foot, so help me God.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a little bit over 10 minutes without the credits. So I'm gonna be straight up with you. This was my absolute worst experience with this movie.
Yeah. So, I get you. I have a similar idea in the future. I'm not going to spoil anything. But
Like this movie is very short, but
Yeah.
it does not feel like it when you are
God,
standing
no.
on one foot.
it doesn't feel like it when you're just watching it normally.
This movie is agonizingly long
Yeah.
when you're putting yourself through a physical challenge like this, and it is. I fucking like genuinely the thoughts that were going through my head. It was I wasn't thinking about the movie. I every time I thought about the movie, I just thought about how much I had left. Like every thought I had in my head was like rethinking decisions of my life. I'm like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, what kind of person does this? Who am I? It, like genuinely, I feel like I hurt my own ego by watching the movie in this fashion. It was
Yeah.
really rough. I did not enjoy my time with viewing 9, and it was really not my best moment mentally. I'm gonna be honest with you, but so for viewing 10, I decided to do something a little bit more fun.
Okay.
And this is something that Dave and Michael can hop on because I did what is called Dark Side
yeah.
of the Disguise.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I decided to start the movie Master of Disguise at the exact same time I started Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd.
He was texting us during this. We have a rule that we're not allowed to share much outside of viewings, but he said, I'm going to break a rule and tell you guys how to watch the movie.
Yeah.
So he made us watch it this way as well.
I made Michael and Dave watch it in this fashion as well.
Pretty entertaining,
afterwards.
actually.
It does not sync up as much as you thought, but that's okay.
It syncs up way more than it should.
I guess.
It syncs up more than fucking, like, Wizard of Oz. And
Is that true?
That's the famous one.
Okay. Yeah, in the Wizard of Oz, the standout moment is, I think they go like black, 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 and blue, and then it switches to her wearing like a blue dress. And that was all that I was looking. I didn't repeat Dark Side of the Moon in one of the viewings. I just did it once through, and then kind of compared the experience of that to the standard viewing experience after. I don't recall anything interesting happening during the black and blue part, so that felt disappointing, that aspect of it.
In the Wizard of Oz or Master of Disguise?
No, in the Wizard of Oz it does. In the Master of Disguise.
Yeah, Master of Disguise. Wizard of Oz, no, I'm with you. The only, like, kind of cool part is that, like, Time, the song Time with all the alarms and stuff, starts right around the time that it switches to color.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, that's kind of cool, but it's not even, like, a perfect sync. Like, I genuinely was disappointed about that. And it's, like... And so for this, I got myself very, very high on marijuana. And I decided, I'm like, I'm going to fucking Dark Side of the Skies is bullshit. And I am not bullshitting you. I think the first 20 minutes of the album syncs up, like, really well.
Yeah, and then you lose it for a while, and then...
Yeah.
Like... Great Gig in the Sky starts the exact second that the grandpa opens the door. Like, you see the grandpa the moment that Great Gig in the Sky starts. The fucking, like, the Master of Disguise logo shit, like, it hits hard as, like, I think it syncs better than it has any right into. The song Breathe in the Air, like, the actual, like, hit on it, like, when it comes in, is when they show the Master of Disguise fucking logo.
Yeah, when he's at the Turtle Club, it's
Brain Damage.
Brain Damage, yeah.
Yes, I was gonna bring that up. Brain Damage starts when they're in the Turtle Club.
Like, right as they enter the Turtle Club, it starts. And then the Black Mark eBay scene starts at the exact same time as Money, which is a really good sync up.
I did this in VR as well.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Did you throw tomatoes then?
Deeply immersive.
Yeah.
So, like, I muted the movie and just had on the songs, which this is a much more pleasurable experience than my ninth viewing than the stupid fucking 1 foot thing, because I had a great time. I think on Letterboxd, I think I gave this like 4 stars. I was like, this is fucking great.
You were a little too stoned, I think, though, because you were telling me like I had to pause it at some points and just pace because some crazy shit happened.
No, I didn't pause it. I literally got up and started walking back and forth. I was like, dude, what the fuck?
Like, it was not that crazy. It was
absolutely
not
was.
that
It
crazy.
absolutely was.
No.
Like, I was having a great time. Don't try to ruin this for me. This shit was really good, and it's almost perfect because I let the album loop about halfway through like the movie, and the movie is almost the length of 2 listens through the album. Like, it's very close.
It's like 1.5.
I don't know, if you get to the end of the credits, like the credits are playing as like Brain Damage is playing, which I think is appropriate.
Yeah.
Brain Damage for its second time. And it's kind of cool. The Cherry Pie Man is running through the guards as the sax solo in Great Gig in the Sky plays.
Yeah, that's a good scene.
During Money plays, there's more shit to this than it has any right to, and I really do recommend that our listeners try this.
I second that. It is an interesting way to watch it.
Yeah, Dave,
It's
back
okay.
me up here a little bit. Like, you
okay.
saw the sync ups.
Yeah, I really did want to bring up the joke of how Brain Damage starts when they're in the Turtle Club.
Yeah.
And then Time with the Grandpa. Or Great Gig in the Sky, right?
Yeah, it's just like not as good as you made it out to be. I'm gonna be honest. I was expecting like near perfect sync, and it was there was like 75% of this movie has no sync up at all with it. So
there's some shit that like if you read into it, I think it syncs up. I literally was sitting there like, man, I think Perry Andolin Blake is sending me messages, you know, like messages not just for inner person who does this, but to me specifically.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Think about it. I then my 11th viewing, I was riding in real hot. I had just a regular viewing. No crazy theme or anything. I just sat down and watched it. A couple things. Just real quick. Those truly are man-sized meatballs.
No, huge.
Yes, they are huge.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Like, I don't know how you could have a full plate of spaghetti in more than one of those fucking things. Like, it's like the size of like a shot put.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a freaking softball-sized meatball.
Like it's I would say it's even possibly even bigger. Like it's gigantic. How is it
like
not
a
bending the
cannonball.
fork when he has it on it? Like when he's
Yeah,
like, "Did
really.
you ask Jeeves?"
Also,
Yeah.
what a great restaurant to accommodate that request.
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent decor in the restaurant too.
Yeah. I'll, you know what?
Hey,
we talked about this last episode. Michael, I paid more attention. I don't have any
It's
hatred
so
toward it.
bad. It is so bad. Jacob, what do you think of the decor in the restaurant?
I wish it were more carpeted. I have a thing for carpeted Italian restaurants. I believe there's
Wait,
like a
what?
tile floor there. I
Yes.
love carpeted restaurants.
Carpeted Italian restaurants?
That's
I
so
love it.
specific.
I love
That
it.
is so
I'm-
specific.
Also, that
It's-
carpet
it's
is fucking disgusting.
It's a
I know,
cozy home
it's just- I
vibe.
love it. It's cozy. Yeah, it's real. I mean, I'm in Rhode Island, like real Rhode Island vibes with carpeted restaurants.
That's
I'm not
so.
going
So
to go-
if I travel to Rhode Island, I should expect carpeted restaurants.
If you go to kind of standard fare, nothing special Italian joints, yeah.
That's very specific.
Yeah. You know what? I'm back on board with the restaurant. I'm fine with it now.
Yeah.
That's all it needed. By the way, I got an explanation for the corned beef ravioli shit.
Yes.
Whoa. Okay.
So I was watching some extra behind the scenes shit with Dana Carvey and whatnot, and he describes that the background of his character is that he is half Irish, half Italian descent. So that is what that is.
Oh.
His mom is Irish and his dad is Italian. So that's
They
what a corned
never
beef
talk
ravioli
about
is.
that. They never talk about that.
No, they don't. And
Oh.
that's the joke. That's what it's supposed to be. And it took me fucking digging through the 20-year-old videos for Dana Carvey to even mention that. It was absolutely ridiculous.
By the way, the scenes that they show, I don't know if I've brought this up already. The scenes that they show in those interviews is the racist scene.
Yeah, yeah. The scene that they used to promote this movie on talk shows was the brown face scene.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow,
boy.
wild. The tripling down on it. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, not only did they double down.
They promoted it. Oh boy, that
so
hurts.
there was so there was a deleted scene, another deleted scene that I just discovered that apparently his mom's cannoli was supposed to have a much bigger plot point
Okay.
behind
What?
it. So you know how right before she gets kidnapped, she's like, "Oh, a little cannoli for a little pistachio."
Make my pistachio
And then
so
he
happy.
puts then he puts the cannoli on the phone with the police, and the police absolutely do not like that.
Wonder
There's
why.
a scene later on. So, in the credits, when it's showing all those other disguises randomly that we don't actually see in the movie,
Yeah.
and they look like they're being shot in some weird fancy hotel room or something, those were part of a scene. Right between the Cherry Pie Man sequence and the Steve wife sequence, there was a scene where Pistachio doesn't know what to do, so he eats his mom's cannoli, which is supposedly filled with Energico for some reason, and then he goes nuts and starts doing a Scooby-Doo chase through this hallway of doors, and every time the henchmen open another door, there's another crazy disguise behind the door. And that was a whole sequence of where all those credit scenes are. Like there's even some returning bits, like Quint comes back, the turtle guy comes back for a second. It's absolutely a bizarre sequence, and I can definitely see why they cut that one. Which this actually might be the first deleted scene that I have watched where I'm like, yeah, I'm glad they removed that. Like that was a miserable watch. But like it's just very weird that the Mama's Cannoli is supposed to have such a bigger presence.
God, I mean, I'm thinking about like, so in the scene where she puts in like she's talking to the cannoli, she's like, "Oh, you'll make my pistachio so happy," and then she puts a cherry in the cannoli. So, what are the Cherry Pie Man lore implications here?
Oh boy!
Oh my God, Dave. Dave, you have just hit upon something. This is very.
I think we need to report back with this. I think we all need to stew on this.
Like I feel like I just keep giving Dave homework.
This is something that I don't think we can properly answer yet. This is deep.
I don't think we're equipped. I think we need to watch this movie at least 10 more times. Before we get to this point. Jacob might have an idea, but he can't tell us yet.
The cuteness eats the cherry too.
Fuck!
At some point, there might be something. There's more to examine there in terms of eating cherries.
The cuteness licks the cherry pie that pistachio was coming out of.
Yeah,
and I mean, I think that could be like a signal to say, oh, it's all right to come out.
That's interesting. But then why does the cuteness faint then? Why is the cuteness so surprised?
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah. It can't be in order.
This is, I don't know. There's a lot of, again, we're not equipped to answer this question yet, but Dave has just busted open a door. That's very interesting. Another thing I noticed is that the Black Mark eBay scene, a lot of those items in the background are international items.
Yeah.
How long has it been?
I don't know. That scene cracks me up, though. There's Mona Lisa, a Betsy Ross original.
And also that weird dig at Bruce Willis in Die Hard 2.
Yeah, we got his wig.
We have Bruce Willis's hairpiece from Die Hard 2. Like, what? Like, Die Hard 2 is already, 15 years old at this point. Like, when they were making this movie, what a weird dig. It's a very weird moment. But it's just, it fucks up the timeline of this movie. Because, in my head, this movie takes place over, 1 week. But there's no way.
God, yeah.
There's absolutely no way. There's Mona Lisa.
Yeah. A Betsy Ross original.
Another big thing I noticed was that, so you know how the ending scene in Costa Rica, the entire purpose of them being there is to get the Constitution back from Bowman?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In that scene, he doesn't take the Constitution with him.
No, he does not, no.
When he runs away farting, the Constitution is still on display on stage.
Yeah, what the hell happened there? Did he have, a decoy or something?
No, it was bad filmmaking, Dave. Bad filmmaking.
We have already established that there is no plot points.
Okay.
I mean, plot holes.
Yeah, you're right. There is no plot point.
No, plot holes. Plot holes. I take it back.
There are no plot points. You're right.
That's that Freudian slip right there.
No plot holes. Also, I'd like to point out that Fabrizio's disguise as Bowman is not perfect.
No, it isn't.
What do you mean?
At one point, when he starts dying laughing, he doesn't fart.
And his hair's fucked up.
No, the hair's not important.
That's right.
And it's because Fabrizio is not a dying man.
Stop saying no, but he is, because you become the other person.
But I don't think Fabrizio is doing very well at this disguise. I think he may have lost some levels because he moved over to the dark side.
He got thrown to the dark side, so you got tossed back a few ranks.
Stop.
Also, they give Jessica Simpson the lunar module in exchange for a couple CDs.
Yeah.
Like, thanks for the CDs.
They're
Here's
not
the
even-
lunar module.
They're probably not even autographed.
This thing was on the moon.
No, they were autographed.
Were they?
Yeah, same with
Oh,
the,
yeah, thanks for
the
the
Jesse
autographs,
Ventura figures.
Yeah.
My 12th viewing was pretty miserable. Not a lot of new observations. The grandpa's Master Disguise robe is really fucking sick.
Yeah.
The red one with like the logo on it. I really dig that. And I kind of want it. And I don't know how I would ever get my hands on such a thing. But that is now like sort of my bucket list of purchases as a Master Disguise like Illuminati robe.
Custom make.
Yeah.
Does the grandpa ever refer to Jennifer by name?
Huh.
No. He says like employee and shit.
Yeah, it's just a lot more about the misogyny here.
Yeah.
It's not great. My my 13th viewing, which was just today, literally about half an hour before we started recording, the policeman on the phone that tells that hangs up on the cannoli that says "Don't call again" kind of sounds like the slapping dummy man.
Yeah, a little
Oh
bit.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, a little bit.
it almost sounds exactly like the slapping dummy man as the policeman. So I'm wondering if the slapping dummy man has a phone inside the slapping dummy
Yeah.
and
He's the police.
is answering the phone for the police. He's got a side gig, so that's good to know.
Yeah.
As
It's hard to
dispatcher.
live in this economy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Slapping dummy man is a dispatcher inside the slapping dummy. And also, just my last big major note is that the only part of this movie that still makes me laugh occasionally is the farts.
The farts
here's Mona
still
Lisa.
just kill it.
Here's Mona Lisa and my tight blue sweater are the only things that get me. Oh, I didn't even say this. I love when Sophia calls pistachios. Goodbye, pistachios. Goodbye, pistachios.
I like that, but I don't laugh at it.
No, but I love that. I love that scene so much.
And I honestly wanted to have a discussion to see if we could rank the farts in this movie.
Oh, okay.
The best one is when he thinks he isn't going to fart, but then he farts. And then everything else is after that.
What's the word?
I'd say number 2 would be the one where he's running away and farting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the worst, I don't know.
I think the worst is the death fart.
Yeah.
Probably. That's the least funny.
It's the least funny.
It's triumphant. He's gonna live
Yeah.
to fight another day, maybe.
Yeah, well, live to fart another day.
That was a roar. He died.
So,
He died like a lion, not like a mouse.
yeah.
yeah. 10 years ago, apparently, I assigned letter grades to the fart.
I do remember you also ranked
first
them.
one I gave a C. When they're escaping in the car, there's the pause one, so it's a bit better. So that was a B plus. The third one I gave a C minus. I'm trying to. Yeah, there's got to be. Oh, the toot toot toot, the rhythmic toot 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 when he's running away. I give him B plus plus, simply because I can never give a fart joke an A.
Yeah,
And the
fair.
last one, the death fart, I apparently gave simultaneously an F and an A.
and that's very, very fair.
That's fair,
He truly went out in a blaze of glory. He went out swinging, and I got to respect Devlin Bowman for that. Because honestly, we've been talking about the top characters in this movie, and
one of my notes
Trent,
is Devin Bowman's the best.
Yeah, Trent's number one.
Yeah.
For sure. We cannot deny that with the time that Trent is given, that he uses
He
it.
kills it.
Like
Kills it.
He kills it.
Same with
I don't
Rex,
think
in
there's
my
a single
opinion.
line that Trent has that I don't like.
Same with Rex.
I don't like Rex as much. I like his laugh.
Yeah.
But I really love Devlin Bowman.
Oh, he's so good. He's so fucking
Devlin
good.
Bowman, and even when it's hit, Brent Spiner, like Data, like as Fabrizio, sort of impersonating himself, he's like, "My name is Devlin Bowman.
Bowman. Yeah.
I have a
That's
secret
super-
underground lair
lair.
filled with rare objects."
Yeah.
It's the best.
Yeah.
Oh.
He goes for it.
That still makes me laugh sometimes, but the farts are the only things that I still laugh at almost every viewing, even when I hate myself.
That's embarrassing,
Same.
kind of.
I have to have something. Give me something. Oh, also, before I hand it over to Jacob, there was one thing that we sort of discussed last time. Dave brought it up. Dave asked, where did he get the ninjas?
Yeah.
It was sort of an offhand joke at the time, but I really put some thought into it.
Okay.
I made a joke that there's an app that he uses called Ninja Please.
Ninja, please.
And I put some thought into it, and I actually think it makes sense plot-wise, because the reason that these ninjas all run away is because they're not full-time workers. This is an Uber situation. They're contract workers, so they get no health insurance.
Good for them.
Wow,
Always
they are
fight for the
sticking
worker.
it to the man.
Hell fucking yeah, they should create a union.
Yeah, I'm
That's when
saying
they
that
all-
these ninjas should unionize.
Yeah.
That's when they all leave, and he's like, "Oh, if you stay, I'll give you a raise." And then
They're
they're
on
like,
strike.
"Oh, he'll never pay."
They
us."
are on
strike.
strike. Oh,
Those
hell yeah,
ninjas-
dude.
Those ninjas
Dude, it's
create a
based as
movement
fuck.
on their way out.
That's based as fuck, dude.
So
These
I just wanted to say
ninjas-
these
Yeah.
ninjas are fucking based.
Yeah.
They know what's up.
Yeah.
And on that note, I would like to hand it over to the master of the master disguise, Mr. Jacob.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So here were my viewings, the rundown of them. One was a weeknight with my fiance, who was very reluctantly dragged into this.
Yeah.
That was a standard viewing. I would say, like, the initial feeling of first returning to this world was sort of a warm bath of nostalgia, where
Right.
regardless of what I was watching on the screen, it was like, I'm here again. Okay. All right. Then
Right.
immediately following that, my thought were the pace of this movie and like is just absolutely insane. Like it makes
it's
no
so
sense.
bad.
It's like there's like all this like exposition at the beginning and then it's so rushed at the end and like
Yeah.
trying to piece together the timeline of like how did they get the Liberty Bell? What would that like MapQuest trek look like? To like
Yeah.
none of it makes sense and I was remembering all of that and then getting kind of exacerbated by that.
Yeah.
Second viewing to calm down from the first one, I watched it in a bath, which I found
Ooh.
quite pleasant. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
That's
that's
fun.
the opposite of
Um,
what I did to myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were going for trials. I was going for how can I ease this process.
Yeah, that's
for
nice.
myself. Once I was a little bit inebriated, and then the other was just this afternoon, and I was just sort of watching it with a fever, and the movie already feels like a fever dream.
Yes.
And so when you're like kind of like dozing in and out, it in some ways it kind of works. Like that's almost like the mindset that one ought to be in watching this. And it just kind of becomes this like blend of loosely pieced together impressions and plots if you're just like actually having a fever when you're watching it. So I don't recommend that, but it works.
So take a bunch of Ambien before my next watch. Got it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, you know how like people take like a shit ton of
Yeah.
Benadryl and see the Shadow Man?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
We're gonna do
We're
that
gonna
for
see
Master
the
Disguise.
we're gonna see the Turtle Man.
Exactly. Okay, and then rapid fire notes. You can tell, like, okay, on Star Trek, you know, Data has to, you know, be so stiff and be
Right.
an android the whole time.
Yeah.
But then there's Lore, right? And his brother Lore, who like is imbued with emotion, and you can tell that Brent Spiner just like loves to ham it up.
Yeah.
And like, so you can like, I believe he enjoyed making this
Oh,
movie. Like,
yes.
I like,
oh,
he
for
seems
sure.
to be
I think he's
having-
the
Yeah.
only. I think he's the only main actor who did.
Yeah.
You can make an
Um,
argument that Dana is having fun on some level, but I think Brent Spiner is having the best time.
Yes.
Yes.
I
I
think
think
Dana.
he's the
It's
most
more
into it.
cynical for Dana.
I mean, I feel like Dana wanted to make the movie, but then it kind of got out of his control and like what he originally wanted it to be, and then he started to
I
like
don't
lose
believe
it
that
halfway
for a
through.
second. I don't believe that for a second. I think his movie just sucked.
I think
Continue.
I think like halfway through, just like how Mel Gibson went insane making The Passion.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I think Dana Carvey realized the responsibility that he was shouldering onto himself,
Right.
and he couldn't handle it. Just, God only gives his toughest battles to his strongest disciples. I just like how Noah went crazy after the ark.
Did he? I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's like a thing. He became like a drunk weirdo after the ark.
That's kind of funny, actually. Jacob, what else you got?
Okay, other rapid fires. Underappreciated line is when he's calling the police and he goes, "My house, it's full of ransackary." I say this all the time.
That's a solid line. That's a solid line.
If I have to clean my room, if I need to do the dish, I say it like that line has stuck with me, and I don't think even until revisiting, I realized that I had drawn it from this movie. It just
That's
is a thing
funny.
that I said.
How did your
part of your life.
fiance enjoy this? Did a lot of things start making sense?
I honestly feel like she 20 minutes into it was just like, I'm gonna be on my phone now. It was not engaged.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
That's really disrespectful.
You might need. I'm just gonna be honest, and I don't want to influence you in any way, but you might need to rethink some things.
Yeah.
Gotta have a tough conversation.
Yes.
Listen, it's master disguise or nothing.
You're right.
Yeah. Okay. Cigar maker guy in the Turtle Club.
Yes.
Just next time you're watching that scene, just pretend you're watching Law and Order. He gives he would be a perfect Law and Order casting. Like they show
you're
up
absolutely
and he's just
right.
like, "Oh, yep, I got the vibe." He nails it. He's
just
quietly
gives
one of the
enough,
better
but not
actors
too
in
much.
the movie.
Yeah.
So
It's not over the top.
You're right, because every single time in Law and Order, every time they question like a person, they're always doing something, and they're
Right.
like, I can't tell you all that. It's like, I'm here to help.
yeah.
Like unloading
he's
crates.
quietly understated and one of the better actors in the movie, maybe. And perhaps he was on Law and Order. I feel like every actor was at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fabrizio is spelled with 2 B's. That felt weird to me.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have never spelled that right. Here, one second. I'm going to look at my notes. I'm going to tell you right now that I'm pretty sure I never spelled that correctly.
It seems pretty weird to
I always
spell
spelled it
that
with
way,
2
but-
Z's.
Yeah.
Is it choose?
Um,
how's it spelled?
Is it 2 Z's?
I'll look it up. Keep going. When I find it.
1 Z, 2 B's,
What the
according
fuck?
to IMDb.
What
Yeah,
the hell?
Yeah.
I never once spelled this correctly. I'm looking at my notes right now, and I always have it wrong.
I don't spell his name in my notes. I just put Dad because I don't feel like spelling Fabrizio.
Oh, I don't think of him as a father.
Wow.
He's very unsupportive of his son and and father.
Yes.
Well.
All right, Jacob.
I suggest watching the movie in another language. It's brutal.
Yeah, in your blog you mentioned that how you watched it in Spanish and how it was like the worst viewing. And
Nothing lands. Yeah.
I'm very curious about that. I have the DVD, and that's something I want to do later on when I'm starting to run out of ideas.
Yeah. When you're scraping the bottom of the barrel, that is a way to mix it up. And you'll quickly regret it probably. Then I want to know more about the toy store guy. I want to know, like, in the deleted scene, why Bowman went to a toy store.
May or may not.
What was going on there? And that character seemed at least intriguing enough to have gotten some airtime in the movie.
Yeah,
So
like obviously they thought it was funny enough to put in the credits, but it's just confusing because was that supposed to be like after the Gammy Num Num thing or before? Like what was that?
It's a mystery that will never be solved. And then I guess so. And then my question for you, as you know, I had tried to make that Kickstarter where I would make the Master's cut. And now that there are multiple Masters and there's more people in the writers' room for a prospective new version of this movie, I want to ask you guys about casting decisions.
Oh, okay.
Starting with, who would you keep in the movie? Like, who if you're remaking it, you just cast them again?
Okay,
as the
I have
same
a question
character?
then. I have a question then.
Mhm.
If I recast, can I pick any actor at any time?
Alive or dead?
Or is it just current?
Let's just fantasy book it, and just say
Okay,
it can be
I
anyone
would,
at any time.
While I love Rex, recast Rex for Bruce Campbell, he would kill it as Rex.
Oh, wow,
perfect.
yeah.
I would keep Trent, obviously, and I would keep Jennifer Esposito.
Yeah.
I would... The grandpa I can keep. I'm okay with the grandpa being there.
I like the grandfather.
I would maybe recast him, but like I don't know who it would be, so I'm content to keep Dana Carvey. I'm recasting.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's bold.
Yeah, no. Who are you putting in for the grandpa, Jay?
Yeah, I put Burt Reynolds in as for Bruce.
Oh, yeah, that kills it. That kills it. Yeah.
All right.
Burt Reynolds,
I'm
that'd
gonna
be
go
awesome.
crazy with this. This is fantasy shit. I'm gonna go nuts on it. I'm gonna cast a different actor for every disguise.
Okay.
Wow, okay.
Terry Suave, Sean Connery.
Okay.
Gammy Num Num, Marlon Brando.
Wait. Okay. All right.
So wait.
What?
Mr. Peru, Robert De Niro.
Mr. Peru, Martin Scorsese.
Right. Yeah.
I want to see him do a backflip. I don't know.
Al Pacino as Quint.
The shit pile, Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah.
I want Bo Derek to be played by Tom Holland.
And Bo Derek to play Cherry Pie Man.
Yeah. I want The Rock to play Pistachio.
No.
I would
The dog,
be
the
into
cuteness.
that.
I want Jesse Ventura to play Jessica Simpson.
And I want Vin Diesel to play Michael Johnson. I'm just saying, like, we are limiting ourselves here. Think about it. We could go
I
crazy on this shit. I want Andy
I love
Kaufman to
casting.
play the dog. Just
I
fucking
love
throw shit out
casting
there.
actors as the cameos.
I would get rid of.
Um,
I'm getting rid of Dana though. I really dislike Dana Carvey now, so I'm getting rid of him. I do not.
I think
like
you're
this man.
very unfair with Dana Carvey because he's so funny in other things.
I love Wayne's World. I don't like Dana Carvey. I've learned.
Like, he's really... The Dana Carvey show was great.
Yeah, says you.
Yeah, and a lot of other people. It's a great show. A lot of
I love
like
Garth.
great comedians got their start on that show.
I like Garth as well, but I'm recasting him, and you know what? Just to piss him off, Mike Myers.
ooh, that is a Judas move right there.
That would
is
be
cold.
that'd be really good for that Shrek scene.
It would be. That Shrek scene would instantly improve.
The kid still does not laugh.
You know what? I'm changing. I want Vin Diesel to play Barney Baker.
Yes. I was thinking more
I
William
have,
Shatner.
I feel pretty good about my Haley Joel Osment circa 1999 as Bonnie Baker.
Yeah, that could work. That could
Yeah.
work.
I felt pretty good about just another TNG actor putting Patrick Stewart in as Devlin Bowman. It would be way
That-
more maniacal.
A lot more gravitas there. That'd be
Yeah.
interesting. I think he would downplay it, and I think he would really sell that like the fart scenes. He would really just like straight face it. I feel
Yeah.
like the fart would happen, and he'd just
Yeah.
still have that intense Professor X vibe.
Yeah.
That's
I could see him selling it.
That's really interesting. We got Picard himself. Honestly, I'd be okay with a remake of this movie with all TNG actors.
Oh, yeah.
Get that Riker maneuver in there. A lot. Damn, this is. I don't know the potential of recasting this movie just like because of the disguises is kind of like limitless.
Yeah.
Like, this is interesting. I still say Gammy Num Num Marlon Brando is the best though.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. Like Apocalypse Now, Marlon Brando, like end of his career type.
Like
shit.
absolutely just fucking over it.
Yeah.
Like
A
this
little
guy, like
overweight.
I want him looking miserable. Like he is
Yeah.
phoning it in.
I
Half
would
dead for
I would
every
pay
scene.
I would pay any amount of money to see Marlon Brando say "Take a gammy off my nummy num." I would love it.
Well, you're in luck, Jacob. We have a special
Yeah.
guest,
Oh, wow.
Marlon
A true
Brando. Like, you know when Orson Welles did that like wine commercial or something?
Yes.
And he
was
like
just,
absolutely like
sloshed.
loses it, and he just is
Yeah.
sloshed, and he fucking
Yeah.
hates it. I want that energy from Marlon,
Marlon
Brando.
Brando is gaming.
When you give me num num. I want Jack Nicholson to play the henchman, the bald one,
Yeah.
but like current day Jack Nicholson. So he has to come out of retirement.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of good stuff here. I wouldn't change a single thing about what I just said. Jacob, I think your best decision you made was to change the score to Metallica's Master of Puppets.
Yeah.
But you got to keep that Master of Disguise song though. That
Yeah,
yeah, you
but
gotta
make
keep-
it remade by Metallica.
Yeah,
Yeah,
get some
the
James
Metallica
Hetfield
cover of it.
vocals on there.
Yeah.
And you
Get
may
Lou
never
Reed on it.
recognize.
Get Lou Reed on it too.
Yeah. Oh, gross. No, don't do that. We don't need another one of those. But I would absolutely love if like this movie started like to fucking Battery by Metallica. That'd be sick.
the opening credit.
It's just
All right,
one.
Jacob. Did you have anything else?
No, those were my rapid fires. So
Hell yeah.
Well, hell
it
yeah.
was fun.
This is good.
was fun.
So we can sort of start wrapping up now. Do we have
Jacob-
any final thoughts here?
No, we don't. I don't.
Just like
Dave?
the Turtle Club scene during the Dark Side of the Skies, I've got brain damage watching this.
yeah.
That was a
As for
stretch.
next episode, I believe we don't know who our guest will be.
We do. We know who our guest is. It's we have a friend coming on next month.
Oh, is that
Right.
confirmed?
Yeah, he's in.
Okay, because he needs to start watching it this week.
Yeah, we should text him.
Okay.
He
I love
but
how
yeah,
we wrote people in.
Oh, I will point out, anyone listening, this movie is now on HBO Max.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone listening to this who wants to watch it, if you have access to HBO, it's on there.
And I don't want to say we got it on, but
Yeah, I'm just saying that like
welcome,
we
America.
built the hype, and HBO was like, "Oh shit!"
we got to
So many people are calling on our hotline and asking for Master Disguise.
The famous HBO request hotline.
Yeah, the very famous one that we all know.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh
Okay,
man,
did
so
they-
many people."
How does that work? Do they have to pay money to put it
yeah.
on?
Oh,
their
yeah,
network?
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
It
right?
could be like a package deal, right?
Yeah, I think they would have to make a deal with like the studio.
It was
So like,
Happy
there are a lot of
Madison? But Happy
movies
Madison...
on HBO.
But aren't they Netflix usually?
Yeah, they are, but I think they have a lot of movies on HBO right now.
Interesting.
But they have a lot of like Netflix produced movies.
I think Billy Madison's on there.
Yeah, I know
HBO.
Little Nicky's on HBO right now.
Ha!
I mean, Billy Madison I like. Little Nicky, not so much.
But like on Netflix right now is like That's My Boy.
Yeah, and all those original ones like Ridiculous Six. And Hubie
Yeah.
Halloween.
I'd love to
Ridiculous.
know. I'd love to know the going rate for the Master of Disguise. Like if you just isolated it, and like
Yeah.
how much you'd have to pay to put it on.
Like I'd like to know exactly the amount of money that HBO had to
Paid.
pay to Happy Madison to get Master.
And they're probably like, man, this guy just keeps watching it so much on here. I don't know.
Do you think that like Happy Madison had to beg them like, please, like you could pay us a little bit less, just put it on there.
We'll pay you.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll pay you.
It's free, and they're like, I don't know. It's like I'm not so sure about this, but all right, we could call it quits there. Jacob, thank you so very much.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you for coming on.
Thank you guys. No,
we-
it's been a ton of fun, and thanks for sharing the burden of being the master of
Hey.
disguise now.
I wouldn't want it any other way. I hope you feel better soon.
Yeah, we're a real
Thank you.
band of brothers now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like World War II vets. We are
Bonded by
linked.
destiny.
Bonded in blood.
Yeah, Jacob,
Absolutely.
if you are a friend of the show now, if you have any further observations, definitely send them our way. We are happy to relay
Yeah,
them.
please, anytime.
And
And
Jake-
Will do. I'll light up the email with observations.
Email, text me,
Maybe I'll
whatever you
watch
wanna do.
it again. No guarantees
Hey.
that I'll watch it again, but maybe.
You've
I
served
don't
your
know
time.
if
you don't have to.
I don't know if you can
served
step
your
away.
time.
It's gonna be hard to step away. I think. You know, just like any
Such a-
addict,
It's
they always
difficult,
Such a
relapse.
big part of our lives.
It's
Yeah, it's true.
It's hard. It's like when Kelsey Grammer finally stepped away from Fraser Crane after 20 years of television.
No, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think anyone
Okay.
really cares
Sure.
about Frasier. But
All right, and that bonus episode is going to come out sometime this month. It's just a straight up interview with Jacob where we find out exactly what the fuck is wrong with him
yeah,
and us.
gone sexual.
Yeah,
Um,
gone sexual, not clickbait.
Yeah, I hope everyone has a great rest of their day, and see you next month.
Yeah, see you next month.
Yeah,
Bye-bye,
we'll
everybody.
see you all
Love
next
you.
month.
Goodbye.
Thanks. Love you all.
All right, all you turtos and turtets. That's the show. Have yourself a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.